So we're talking about the philosophy of art, but in particular, what it means to want to be a writer. And so I'm going to make a distinction in this first preliminary video between literature and genre writing. And this is the mistake most new writers, people interested in writing, most of the people make this mistake not seeing this distinction, and it messes everything up. And I'm going to tell you why. I have an MFA, which means I studied art in fiction. I don't have an MFA in poetry. I studied short stories, minimalism. I studied novels, screenplay, things like that. So an MFA is a terminal degree, just like a PhD, but people are more likely to get an MFA in art, PhD in science. And I know there's some similarities there, and I know they have PhDs in writing now, but usually that's more focused on tech writing, on literary criticism. What we're talking about is writing. You want to be a writer, you either have some experience, no experience, or you're a genre writer, and you want to transition to literary. So the main theme I'm going to give you is that to stand out as a genre writer, you need literary training. So let's make this distinction first in this video, because without this distinction, you've got nothing. When I first started in post-bac, which is between your 4-year degree and then once you're accepted into a graduate program, I have no idea why someone would accept me. Actually, that's a funny story. It's not that funny, it's sad. But this is the distinction between what people think writing is and what art is. So when people say literary, they mean a certain element and threshold of artistic creation. So what that means is that it's likely to mean something, and that meaning something in terms of art teaches you or changes you. And this is an underestimated concept in art, in philosophy, and in writing. And it is that you're creating an idea, but you're putting your own twist on that idea. That's what creativity means. But the artistic elements change what that writing really is. So we've got literary writing and genre writing. These are two very different things. And it's not that they're not both writing, they are. It is that writing genre is not attempting to change you in this way. It's attempting maybe to teach you something, or it's attempting to entertain you. So genre writing is entertainment. It's that simple. You're just getting entertained. You're not learning something. And people do merge these things. And that's why I'm going to segue into why you use literary technique, even if you want to be a genre writer. Genre writing is fluff. Literary writing is art. And those are very different things that you need to keep separate in your mind, even though later they can be merged. You can play the piano classically, you can play it pop, and you can even merge those things. But when you learn piano, whether you're going to be a pop piano player, I don't know what you're going to do. If you study piano, you're going to start with chords. You're going to start with classical training. And in some sense, that's the difference between literary training and genre training. Because what I'm trying to tell you is literary writing is deeper, specific to art and philosophy, and genre writing is entertainment. So if you just want to be an entertainment writer, what I'm arguing here is that you still need to go through the literary training. And then if you want to be a literary writer, if you want to write a book like The Sports Writer from Richard Ford, which is my favorite novel, which is a minimalist novel that most people don't know about. If you care about minimalism, if you care about art, if you care about literature, that's the stuff you need to be reading. So I'm going to explain in a series of videos how you go about this training and what these distinctions really mean. And also what the literary techniques are. What I've learned through 17 years in undergraduate, post-bac, and graduate MFA literary fiction training. So we're talking about fiction, not poetry. Fiction is considered short story and novel form. But you have to have that element of art, and to have that and to be aware of that, you have to know the difference between genre and literary. So if you want to be a writer and you're thinking, I want to be an entertainment writer, like a fantasy writer, that's genre. Sci-fi writer, that's genre. If you want to do that, you need to stop yourself before you mop yourself. You need to stop and say, what kind of literary training do I need to stand out as an entertainment genre writer? And that's where we're going with this. And so subscribe and like so you can get some of these videos, because we're going to get more precise about what it means to be a writer, what it looks like to be a writer, and what this difference means in terms of superficial writing and deeper artistic writing.